Grad Nica, smeštena na prestižnoj Azurnoj obali Francuske, oduvek je bilo popularno odredište za ljubitelje sunca, mora i luksuza. Ovaj prelepi grad sa svojom šarmantnom kombinacijom starog, svijeta i modernog luksuza nudi bogatstvo kulturnih i prirodnih lepota koje privlače posetioce iz svih delova sveta. Nica je jedan od najstarijih gradova na Mediteranu, a njena istorija seže unatrag više od 2000 godina. Grad je bio pod vlašću različitih naroda, uključujući Rimljane i Savojce, a kasnije je postao popularno odredište za evropske aristokrate tokom 19. i početkom 20. veka. Najznačajniji objekat u Nici i jedan od najomiljenijih spomenika kulture u Francuskoj je Ruska Saborna Crkva. Najveći ruski pravoslavni hram van Rusije i ima veoma neobičan istorijat. Naša novinarska ekipa je dobila dozvolu za snimanje unutrašnjosti, a privilegija koja se inače veoma retko dobija.
I start my visit usually with the words that this is the biggest Russian Orthodox Church in Europe, outside former Russian Empire, and the most beautiful in the world. We are sure about it. The cathedral was built in 1912, so the construction was during 9 years, from 1903 till 1912. Half of the money was given by the last emperor of Russia, Nicholas II. But himself, he never came to Nice. He didn't have this chance. But the story of this place starts much earlier, even in the 18th century. Well, at least in 1865, the day that you noticed at the entrance to our garden. Because in 1865 there was a tragic event in Nice, the death of the Crown Prince of Russia. We will visit later the chapel behind the cathedral, built to his memory. And then this garden was bought by the father of Tsarevich Nicholas, Alexander II. And at the beginning of the 20th century, when Russian population became very important in Nice, Nicholas II gave this garden to the church for the construction of the new cathedral. So the interior decoration and the cathedral was built and decorated in Art Nouveau style that was very popular at that time. The flowers on the walls represent the world of God, the kingdom of heaven. The iconostasis was constructed by famous jewelers in gold-plated bronze. Was made by the famous jewelers at the time, brothers Hlebnikov.
Ovaj saborni hram je karakterističan zbog svog ruskog pravoslavnog stila, koji je veoma dekorativan i bogat. Međutim, njen izgled izaziva misteriozne sumnje među istoričarima i posetiocima. Naime, zbog svoje veličine, oblikovanja i raskoši, mnogi veruju da je kupola projektovana u skladu sa posebnim simboličnim značenjem. Postoji teorija da se kupola s obzirom na njen oblik i dekoraciju može interpretirati kao podsjećanje na potonuli svetski carizam. Neki istoričari sugerišu da bi to moglo biti povezano sa idejama o mističnoj snazi Rusije i njenom uzizanju iz pepela od zlatnih visina, posebno u svetlu trenutnih istorijskih događaja u svetu. Nacrte za hram je uradio Mihail Preobraženski. Njegov rad je bio specifičan po tome što je spajao različite stilove, uključujući rusku pravoslavnu arhitekturu, barokne i neorenesansne elemente, stvarajući tako jedinstveni hibrid koji se ne uklapa lako u običajne arhitektonske tradicije. Preobraženski je bio arhitekta sa posebnim interesovanjem za simbolizam i metafizičke aspekte arhitekture, što se odražava u njegovim projektima. U tom kontekstu njegovo delovanje može se povezati sa određenim simboličkim uticajima. Na primjer, upotreba kupola u ruskom pravoslavnom stilu, koji imaju duboko religijsko značenje, ali i simboliku kosmičkih energija, može se povezati sa predhrišćanskim idejama o kosmosu i svemirskim ciklusima. U pravoslavnoj simbolici one predstavljaju 5 rana Hristovih ili 5 prstiju ruke koje se koristi za blagoslov.
So the iconostasis was created by famous jewelers at the time, brothers Khlebnikov. Khlebnikovs were as famous as Fabergé, for example, at the time. The project was made by the artist. His name was Leonid Pianovsky. He was of Polish origin. And the interior decoration, the project of the interior decoration was also made by Leonid Pianovsky. The iconostasis is made in gold-plated bronze. The icons were painted by the famous artist at that time, Alexander Glazunov. In this cathedral, many of the icons were brought, especially the big icons, were brought before the revolution, so during the construction of the cathedral, and even before, because the Russian community was very important since the middle of the 19th century in Nice. But most of the icons, especially the little ones, were brought after the Bolshevik Revolution by the emigrants. There were thousands of Russian people who arrived here, and they were happy to have a big church, to have the possibility to come and pray in this church. There is still the big Russian community in Nice and around Nice. And in our parish, there are several nationalities. We have people also from Serbia, from Bulgaria, Georgia, Moldavia, many Ukrainians. I'm Ukrainian, and Russian people, of course. So the population is very important, and the parish is the biggest Russian Orthodox parish in contemporary France. There were thousands of Russian people who arrived here after the Bolshevik Revolution, and there are still the descendants of this wave of immigration. And in our parish also there are several families. Before they were counts and princesses, but now they are coming for the services, and they are still have the possibility to pray here, and we are happy to be next to them in this place. And so there are many icons that were donated by the Russian emigrants. For example, we have this beautiful icon of the Virgin Mary. Its name is Our Lady of Kazan. But it was painted for this cathedral at the order of a very famous lady. The lady, her name was Natalia Shadelska. She ordered this icon especially for this cathedral. Unfortunately, she died even in 1904. She is buried at the Russian cemetery in Nice. There is a big cemetery, the biggest after Saint-Geneviève-des-Bois in Paris, in Nice. So the ladies from the parish gave their jewelry to decorate this frame. We can find the pearls, the rubies, and other precious and semi-precious stones, and beneath everything is entirely painted. And the particularity of this icon is also that from any corner of the cathedral, when you're looking at the Virgin Mary, she's looking at you also like Mona Lisa, a little bit sad that she's watching us. There are many beautiful icons in this cathedral, very ancient icons. For example, one in front of you, its name is Our Lady of Jerusalem. very colorful. It was painted by the monk from the mountain of Athos, from the monastery of mountain of Athos for this cathedral. In the middle, the Annunciation of the Virgin Mary, one of the rare icons here that were painted already after the Bolshevik Revolution in 1920s to the memory of the Emperor Nicholas II. And next icon, it's a little bit strange, almost black with the drops, represents St. Nicholas. This is our main icon, and this is a miraculous one. Many people are coming just to pray in front of it. Actually, this icon belonged to Tsarevich Nicholas, the Crown Prince of Russia, who died in Nice in 1865. And after the construction of the chapel, at the beginning, it was put there over the entrance and was hanging on the sun during several years. And it was spoiled. It became absolutely black. You couldn't see any image on it during half a century, till 1935. And in 1935, at the eve of the 22nd of May, there was a miracle when this icon cleared itself. It was a process of several days. There were many witnesses. And since then, we can see the image. The drops are probably they vanish, but there is no scientific explanation of what happened. One of the main icons in our cathedral is this one, Our Lady of the Dawn. And it was embroidered, entirely embroidered by hand and decorated with river pearls. It was the younger sister of Nicholas II who did it. Grand Duchess Ksenia Alexandrovna, Великая княгиня Ksenia Alexandrovna. As you know, she lived after the Bolshevik Revolution. She lived in Denmark, then in London. She died in 1960 at the age of 85. But this icon she embroidered before the revolution because she spent several winter seasons with her family in Nice. And it's magnificent. You will visit the chapel. We have a family of rabbits, about 10 at this moment. Their territory, their home. They're afraid of nothing. So, as I told you, the history of this place starts in 1865. There was a tragic event, tragic for Russia, the death of the Crown Prince. His name was Nicholas, Tsarevich Nicholas, Cesarevich Nicholas. He was 21 years old. He was the eldest son of the Emperor Alexander II. So he was preparing to become the Emperor Nicholas II. It was his turn. When he arrived to Nice, he had a backache. He couldn't even walk. And it was discovered too late that he was suffering from meningitis. He is dead on the 24th of April, 1865. All this happened in the big villa, big house that's situated where there is a chapel now. And the chapel was built 3 years later after his death, because Alexander II decided that nobody can live in this house. The house was demolished, and he built the chapel to the memory of his son, in white marble, in white stone, in Byzantine style. And the chapel is situated in the place where was the room of Tsarevich Nicholas when he died. And especially in front of you, there is this place in black marble. This plate in black marble marks the place where was his bed when he died. He's not buried here, of course. His body was transferred immediately to St. Petersburg, where he was buried with all the family of Romanovs. The chapel is memorial.
Слава Богу за все, слава Богу все, с этим надо всегда нам смириться. Если ты заболел, занемог тяжело, и не можешь с постели подняться.
Katedrala Svetog Nikolaja u Nici, koja je sagrađena od strane ruske migracije početkom 20. veka, obavijena je različitim legendama i pričama. Iako nije toliko poznata kao neka druga evropska verska mesta, njena veza sa Rusijom, carevima, migrantima i duhovnim životom pruža bogat materijal za mnoge misterije i legende. Zbog posvećenosti Svetog Nikolaju, zaštitniku pomoraca i putnika, postoji legenda koja povezuje ovu crkvu sa brojnim čudesnim spasenjima. Priča kaže da su mnogi pomorci i putnici koji su putovali kroz Francusku i mediteranske vode posetili ovu katedralu u nadi za zaštitu i božansku intervenciju. Ljudi su verovali da je Sveti Nikolaj kroz posredovanje ove katedrale intervenisao u mnogim nesrećama i olujama, pružajući sigurnost i mir onima koji su se molili pred njegovim ikonama. Nakon što su Sovjeti preuzeli kontrolu nad Rusijom, postojali su problemi u vezi sa jurisdikcijom u pravoslavnoj crkvi, jer su različite crkve tvrdile da imaju pravo na nadležnost nad ruskim pravoslavnim zajednicama u inostranstvu. Danas katedrala Svetog Nikolaja u Nici ostaje pod jurisdikcijom Moskovske patrijaršije, ali sporovi oko njenog vlasništva i duhovne jurisdikcije i dalje traju. Postoje napetost između Ruske pravoslavne crkve i drugih pravoslavnih zajednica u zapadnoj Evropi, što ponekad stvara probleme u svakodnevnom verskom životu vernika. Kako se Nica razvijala kao turistička destinacija, katedrala Svetog Nikolaja postala je nezaobilazna tačka u programima za turiste, kao i lokalno mesto okupljanja za pravoslavne vernike. Njeno prisustvo u svakodnevnom životu Nice, kao i duboka kulturna i mistična vrednost, učinili su je jednim od najpoštovanijih spomenika ne samo turista, već i samih stanovnika Francuske, koji su ovu svetinju uvrstili u najznačajnije spomenike kulture na teritoriji Francuske republike.